The Edmonton Oilers tried their best. They'd be going golfing.
Did they actually try their best, Frankie?
Yes.
It's the Comedeorological Report for June 27th. A look at severe weather in review across Canada.
So a little bit of... Yeah!
This is Jenny Hagel coming to you from West Central Saskatchewan, where we're set up for today's severe weather threat in Saskatchewan. Now, with these systems, all severe threats are possible. We're looking at some damaging winds, large hail, even the possibility of a few tornadoes in this.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather or not.
Hello, listeners at C4 88.7 FM Prince George, CKUW 95.9 in Winnipeg, and also CFBX 92.5 Kamloops. Hello, viewers on Rogers Television down there in Vancouver Island outlets. This is the Comedeorological Report, Comedy Meteorology Report. I am Joey Only, your host in Wells, British Columbia, and it's been a fantastic week of weather in Western Canada. Oh my, it's really delivered a couple times over. So, and most especially, a couple tornadoes dropped down, and we got 2 confirmed tornadoes, at least so far, from the Northern Tornado Project in Saskatchewan from last Sunday night's storm. Beauty storm. There was 5 on that. 5 big different cells that were going off at one point that were tornado warned. And Brandon Hauk was doing his live stream on his Facebook, and I decided to join him, and we spent 3 hours looking at the radar talking weather. It was awesome. It's awesome. And that's why I love Brandon so much, because not many people in your life do that with you, right? That's what we have here in this we have this thing of storm chasers and weather junkies and weirdos from across Canada who get together and we talk about how funny the weather is. The weather is funny business. It sucks. It really does. And sometimes it blows. So anyways, this is your show. Okay, so here I am, Joey Only, Wells, British Columbia. Brandon Hauk's out there in Brooks, Alberta, and the star of the show himself is Frankie McDonald down there in Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Frankie, the weatherman.
How you doing so far, buddy?
I'm doing great so far. Weather all across eastern United States and America. And this Friday coming a lot of rain in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, British Columbia. Then it's going to aim towards Ontario on Saturday, New York City on Saturday, and Sunday's going to bring a lot of rain all across the eastern United States and Canada on Canada Day. Then it gets some rain hitting for some states in the United States on the 4th of July. Like on the 4th of July, there's 2 holidays, one in Canada, one in the United States on Thursday. Then you got lots of rain hitting for eastern United States on the 4th of July, like places like Nebraska is going to get severe weather on the 4th of July possible, including Arkansas, Tennessee, and all those places. Rain in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Massachusetts on July 1st, which is Canada Day. And Independence Day is supposed to get some rain in interior eastern United States. And Independence Day and thunderstorms and forecast. It's going to bring extremely hot weather in California on the 4th of July, including Oregon, Washington, and Vancouver, British Columbia. It's going to bring lots of rain all across Thunder Bay, Ontario, all across Wisconsin, and all those places this weekend coming, including Missouri, all across Iowa, and all these places. It got brief cooler air hitting for Cape Breton Island for Friday. It's going to bring cooler air in Cape Breton Island, including mainland Nova Scotia, including New Brunswick, all the way to PEI and Quebec and all those places in Ontario. It's going to bring lots of hot weather all across western United States. It's going to bring really hot temperatures. And it's going to be stormy weekend in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, and British Columbia. A lot of rain headed for southern Ontario this weekend, including Base Guy's hometown, Montreal.
Excellent. What else you got, Frankie?
And the weather all across Central America. Lots of rain and thunderstorms on the forecast in Central America. Weather down South America. There's a lot of rain and thunderstorms going on in Venezuela, Colombia, and parts of Ecuador, Peru, and northern Peru and Bolivia and all those places. It's really dry in southern Peru and northern Chile right now. It's really dry right now. It's really cold in southern Chile. Lots of showers, lots of rain and snow in southern Chile. Snow up in the mountains and rain in the coast areas of southern Chile. There's got lots of snow in western Argentina. Lots of snow in western Argentina so far. Then it got snow in Falkland Islands right now. And Stanley Falkland Islands. They're bringing snow there right now. And flurries there right now. It's really cold there. This is their winter right now. Then next week you got more flurries and snow in the forecast of Falkland Islands as well. And then weather all across the United Kingdom. It's cooler air in the UK, England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland right now, including France, and the showers in the forecast, getting ready for the Olympics on the 26th of July. Then you gotta keep an eye on thunderstorms and rain in the forecasting during the Olympics for sure.
Right.
In Paris, then you got some thunderstorms and rain in the forecast in Spain, Germany, Poland, including parts of Denmark and Netherlands. And then it got some rain heading for Norway, Finland, Sweden. Friday and Saturday, lots of rain forecast in Norway, Finland, Sweden right now. Belarus, it's going to aim towards Belarus next week in Moscow. Russia's getting a bad heat wave.
How hot?
Really hot in Moscow. Lots of rain in the forecast in southern Japan, including all across Sapporo, Japan, Tokyo, Japan. It's going to rain a lot in Japan and thunderstorms, including Seoul, South Korea, and Pyongyang, North Korea. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in China right now, including Hong Kong and Wuhan, China, and Beijing, China is getting lots of showers in the forecast. It's really hot temperatures in Mongolia and Siberia right now. It's really, really hot. Weather aiming towards Siberia, like Yakutsk and Magadan, Russia, and all those places right now. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and all those countries like Thailand are bringing lots of thunderstorms and rain going on right now. So much rain in Mumbai, India right now. Then they got a lot of rain heading towards Mumbai, India, and Delhi, India, because the rainy season right now brings so much rain in northern India. It's monsoon season. Their summer came to an end. Right now, it's their monsoon season in India and Bangladesh and Myanmar. It's really dry in Afghanistan right now, in Iran, Iraq, Syria, over the Middle East. Lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Turkey, right? Northeastern Turkey. It's extremely hot in Saudi Arabia, in our Emirates, Yemen, Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, Israel, Egypt, and all those places. Extremely hot there right now. In Northern Africa, lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Nigeria, Ghana, and all those places right now. Lots of thunderstorms coming off the coast of Africa right now. There's a tropical disturbance in the Caribbean trying to become Tropical Storm Beryl. And lots of rain and lots of dry weather going on in Botswana and South Africa with showers and forecasts, including Namibia and in Angola. It's really, really dry right now. Angola is in the dry season. And you got some little showers and forecasts in Mozambique and Madagascar and La Reunion and Mauritius Islands this time of the year. In Australia, and lots of rain and thunderstorms, lots of rain that happened in Perth, Australia. Then you got some rain hitting for Sydney, Australia, and cold temperatures in southeastern Australia, Tanzania, and all those places. It's really hot in northern Australia. In southwest Pacific, lots of cold air aiming towards New Zealand, North Island, New Zealand, South Island, New Zealand. Then you got lots of rain in the forecast on Sunday and parts of northern South Island, New Zealand, close to Invercargill, and all those places go bring colder temperatures. Right now, this time of the year, it's dark 24 hours a day. In Antarctica, it's light 24 hours a day. Up in the Arctic, it's dark 24 hours a day where Mike Post is at.
You're on fire tonight, buddy. Great world weather report, man. Like, you hit everything like a machine gun. You're on fire tonight. How you doing, Frankie?
I'm doing great so far.
Yes, you are. Yeah, you are. Imogen just showed up, Frankie. She's down in Victoria. You got any questions for Frankie this week, Imogen? You've always got a good one.
He might have had sharks on Mars once upon a time.
My questions revolves around sharks in various states, frozen sharks being hurled through with tornado force and whatnot. But I think I am kind of wondering, Frankie, what is the smallest size shark that you could drop off the Empire State Building without actually killing someone?
It's a totally different shark altogether.
It's a different kind of shark. Well, I mean, in general, there's so many types of sharks, but like in terms of just sheer volume, what's the largest size of shark that you could just throw off the Empire State Building with it?
It would be big as a submarine.
That is a big shark. If you drop that just from 3 inches above someone, that would kill them. So I think off the Empire State Building, it would make quite the crater. But that
and the base guy and I found out the base guy show will be back on the air in October.
Is he going to be talking about sharks?
Will base guy have sharks when he comes back?
Base guy when he returns to the show in October.
Like a shark episode this next season of Base Guy. That would be cool.
This October coming.
You tell Jack we want to see a shark episode. I know he can write songs about sharks.
They're nature's miracle. And if anyone can write a song about a shark, it's gonna be Bass Guy. It's gonna be a bass-heavy shark riff.
I run this weather group with 18,600 people on it now. There's 700 people. We added a few more, I guess, because we keep being right. Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers. We have this group. I spent years convincing people that severe thunderstorms happen in BC, and now they're convinced and they're all looking, and it's great. The group is just functioning beautifully. It's doing its job.
Yes, I actually do have a question for Frankie. So, Frankie, would you rather go skydiving or swim with sharks?
Neither of them, because skydiving, that means it's a scary one. Sharks is another scary one. Neither of them.
Oh, Frankie. You know what? I gotta tell you, I have a pet shark, and he is a very gentle little animal. Most sharks are pretty gentle. They're.
That means that the dog alerts people when to go swimming. The dog barks when the shark comes. That means I'm talking about dogs. The dogs bark when the shark approaches the shore.
What? Okay, see, I thought you meant that you were just like throwing dogs in the ocean as
I'm
like
talking about
warnings.
a dog on the sand beach. And when a dog barks, means they sense sharks when the shark's coming.
Bet you if you want to catch a shark, a dog would be great bait.
Lifeguards will use dogs. That means the dog will bark to alert people when the shark's coming.
I do love dogs for that.
I thought it just meant the lifeguards had pet dogs that like time at the beach.
All the time, my dog starts barking, and I'm like,
Means the shark is coming towards me.
that could be a shark.
Once they hear a dog bark, that means the shark's coming.
Candy Graham. You're not a shark, I know. No, ma'am, I'm just a dolphin.
And once they hear it go roof, means shark's coming.
How much dancing did you do last night? How many
Lots of
hours?
it.
How many hours?
Lots and lots of dancing.
Like 2 hours of dancing?
Yeah.
Frankie goes dancing every Wednesday night. And he sends us videos of him dancing. I'll put some in the show. I always love Frankie's dancing videos, and I always feel special that out of the blue, Frankie thinks to send us a video of himself dancing, and just like, yeah. And then there's always like random guys like, Frankie, I love you, and coming in like Frankie's just giving her. It's beautiful. I thank you, Frankie. I love it. So there's your Frankie dancing videos, everybody. That's what it looks like right there. You go. How many videos did you make this week, Frankie?
How many of the videos I made this week is like the Australia rainstorm one.
Without much further ado, we're gonna switch gears for a minute because Brandon Hauk, we got so much to talk about.
The Brandon Hauk Report.
Oh, hi. This is the Brandon Hauk Report.
So you did a 3-hour long stream on Sunday, and people were watching and asking questions like, "Am I okay here? Am I okay there?" I thought that was great. I really enjoyed having my foot in another province with that, and honing up my radar watching skills with my good buddy. So that was really fantastic. And the storms delivered. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot to talk about because you got all these funnel clouds and I mean, BC, that storm went through and we had some of that behavior in the Caribbean that I filmed. Went to Alberta, it's produced a bunch of funnel clouds there. None touching the ground, we don't believe. And then expecting down to Saskatchewan and Manitoba, so much it's the same thing. I guess what's happened this time is the sun hasn't really punched through anywhere. Hasn't made the storms angry enough to actually do something, but all that, all the ingredients were there at every level to get it doing that stuff. It's just not enough to make it that next level angry, right? So, but that was different on Sunday in Saskatchewan, wasn't it?
Oh yes, that was a wild day of active weather in Saskatchewan. We even had a few severe storms here in Alberta. It all kicked off like 2:00 in the afternoon. In Alberta, one singular supercell, and it didn't do much at all, but it was like, oh, this is just the start of it. And then all of a sudden, a couple more hours later, boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, storms popping up all over the place. We had a couple of tornado warnings, quite a few tornadoes, I think, tornado warnings. There was like 6 at the same time at one time. So Joey and I, we were bouncing around the province. We were up in the north. We were near Prince Albert, and we jumped down to the southern storm near, that would be Omega, Saskatchewan, somewhere around there, and then Assiniboia, and extending to eastwards into just not quite Weyburn, but pretty close, the Milestone, Saskatchewan area there. So we had some wild storms, and some of those storms did do some damage. I believe Glenborough, Saskatchewan, had some damage to a Chinese restaurant there, And we had a brief touchdown, likely near Radisson is one. And the one at Glenboro there may have also been a tornado as well. So they're looking into that one. But
What
there's
about
also
Gravelberg? Is that
Gravelberg. Yes, that's the one
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
thinking. Gravelberg.
So that's the one that Jenny Hagen was on, and I believe
Yep.
she will pop in. She just got off work and she's trying to get some food. I think we're going to see a few minutes of Jenny Hagen catching up later on with her tornado intercept this week. So that's very exciting to have that in the show.
Yeah, Gravelberg, Saskatchewan. So that was the one storm there, and then a lot of wind damage. And then Estevan, Saskatchewan, later in the evening had baseball-sized hail, and the hail is like that big. It was wild. Sunday night in Saskatchewan. What a show! Joey and I were on the live stream there for 3 hours, and probably by the time I was done that, I was like, "Whoo!" It did a little I was sweating. That, sometimes you get big outbreaks like that and you start sweating at the end there. You're like, oh boy, and you don't even do anything. You're just sitting there going through different radar images, pointing out where the tornado could be at and where a storm's going next.
Well, we can barely keep up. And that's
yeah.
something you don't get too often in Canada when you're like, just forecasting for one province or one section of Western Canada. It's not too often that you can't keep up with all the new continuing tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, and how fast some storms are moving and how slow others are moving.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Sunday night was just a wild time. It was hot last weekend, too, so we were in the dry slot Sunday evening or through the day Sunday. So we were like 31 degrees, and the relative humidity here in Brooks dropped to 10%, which was very, very low back on Sunday there. And then Sunday evening after we were done, all of a sudden this random little thunderstorm showed up out the back door there and put on a little light show over there. So I kind of did get maybe a little invite to go out there to Saskatchewan there, but anyways, we got busy. I had to stick around because I thought, okay, we may have had some strong thunderstorms in Alberta because I might have to jump on some radio stuff as well. So, but that wasn't, I only had to do one little radio break at least on Sunday there. So it wasn't as bad, but anyways, but I still got a storm. So I'm happy about that.
Jenny Hagen is coming on in 5.
He's coming on in 5 minutes. So I better hurry myself up here.
Not necessarily, but
anyways, so now to the weather this week. So a couple of quieter days, Monday, Tuesday, and now we've got the storms that rolled in late day Wednesday, and then today was a weird day today. Almost, if we had a little more sunshine, it could have been a repeat of June 14th, 2023, when we had 10 tornadoes touching down, and it was landspout stuff, and the storm developed near Lethbridge, took a hook, went right to Brooks, and that was probably still the best day ever. And I was hoping, can we do that again today? But we had way too much cloud. We had a couple bursts of rain earlier, so that kind of spoiled the party. We had a little thunderstorm pop up to our west here, but there's some kind of rising motions. We've had some scuds today, nothing too wild. I think Drumheller area had a funnel cloud today. Quite a few funnel clouds to the south where the sun actually showed up today, and thunderstorms brewed to our south today and went through the Bow Island area and into Medicine Hat there. So at least we did have some thunderstorm action, but the rain, holy moly, that rain really set up, and now it is downpouring rain, and there are rainfall warnings to our north as well. So some areas could easily, from the 27th to the 28th of June here, could pick up 50 to 80 millimeters of rain. And if we do get any thunderstorms involved with that, some pockets may pick up 100 millimeters of rain tonight into tomorrow morning. So a significant amount of rain. We've already had some issues with flash flooding in the Olds area so far today. So,
Well, we are out here in a torrential downpour right now. Take a look at this. Wow. Very heavy rain here. And I just gotta go check the rain gauge here because it's been raining pretty good for the last little bit. We're already up over 10 millimeters. So this is probably the heaviest rain we've been in all day so far today. Just west of the Brooks here. Look at the rain. Oh, man.
Quite active scenario. Now, as we look ahead into the longer range forecast, we're going to see the chance of thunderstorms, southern Saskatchewan, southern Manitoba for the 28th of June. So that means we could see a chance of funnel clouds again for tomorrow in those areas. And then into next week, we're watching Alberta Sunday into Monday. Looks like we take a break Saturday, but Sunday to Monday, it's back to the action. I also should note tonight, we could see those winds gust 80 to 90 kilometers an hour with those rains. So it's going to be a wild night tonight. Yes, party tonight. Anyways, now looking ahead into next week, we have a chance of storms Sunday into Monday, and some of those thunderstorms could in fact get severe. So I know we missed out on the storms today, but we're going to get those storms Sunday, Monday, and Mother Nature is going to put on her own fireworks for Canada Day for next week there. And then as we carry on through the middle of next week, looks like it's going to stay quite unsettled with rounds and multiple rounds of thunderstorms for me.
Then it gets a rain in eastern Canada.
Oh, yes, and then quite a bit of rain in the eastern half of the country as well.
Well, it looks like consecutive rounds of thunderstorms beginning here in BC as well, right? So, and maybe Sunday even being a larger show for the region here. We'll see. Looks good so far.
Yeah. So yeah, wildest stories of the week, I guess. Out of California, both of them out of California, actually. Santa Cruz guy. Guy got lost in the woods for 10 days. And he came out looking like he was on the movie Castaway there. And he decided, how he survived by drinking water out of his boots. That's right. Drinking the water out of his boots.
Then they got the construction people working on the main water line in Calgary.
He's lucky he survived it all.
Survived and eating berries. And then one more out of California, avocado truck flipped over. And yeah, I guess the driver is now toast. There we go.
You're a bad person, Brandon.
Yeah, I'll never forget the story of the German tourists that were rescued in the north, somewhere out by Whistler, Garibaldi, or somewhere, and when they rescued them after 3 days, their pants were full of feces. Yeah, and I guess some German survival guru had told them that it was warmer to defecate in your pants than to hike them down and do it in the snow. And so they spent days. Yeah, imagine here comes Jenny Hagen to break up this lovely conversation. Imagine being, you're the rescuer, and then you find these stranded German skiers, and after 3 days in there, they just, ski pants.
Jenny, we are so happy to see you. You have amazing timing. You have no idea what you just walked in on, but thank you for being here.
I never know what I'm walking in on with you guys.
It's mostly my fault, yeah.
I just got the hook from the associate producers, and we're going to move on to Jenny Hagen now. Jenny Hagen, you were down in Gravelbourg, Saskatchewan. You decided to go south on those storm chases on this weekend. I was in favor of that. I was like, you should go south. No one's going south. You should be the one. And tell us the story.
Yeah, I think most people went after that, what was more of a sure thing north, but those parameters for isolated cells down south just had me going, even though the tornado potential was a little bit lower. So absolutely gorgeous supercells that rolled through there. There was a tornado warning just as I got to Gravelbourg. I was there probably 10 minutes before the tornado warning went off. So there was some damage there. Not sure yet, though, if that was due to downburst winds or a tornado itself. EC is still kind of investigating that one.
Right. So you haven't made the cut yet. But what did you see?
Not yet.
What did you see?
Well, there was tons of rotation in these storms, and it was dropping some monster hail in areas. Gravelbourg, I got golf ball size hail. And then as that swooped southeast into southeastern Saskatchewan and over into the border, it was dropping softball size hail.
Very large. How long do you stay on that storm?
I was on it for probably 6 hours total with 3 different tornado warnings.
So you kept following out towards Radisson and whatnot.
I wasn't on I was south, so it went from Gravelbourg over to Assiniboia down towards Weyburn, Estevan.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Brandon and I were watching on the radar scope and live streaming and cheering for you. Like, oh, one of them, someone's going to get their tornado.
Well, all this moisture that we're getting will hopefully ramp up things here for July. It's crazy rainfall for this area of Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Brandon was saying if storms could put together up to 100 mils in some
That's
places.
what Michael's on too.
I think so. I think Mike McGregor is checking in there in a minute.
By Monitor, Alberta, there's probably about an hour ago, we're sitting at 76 millimeters already, and this system is only about halfway over. So yeah, I think we're gonna have places that reach over 100. I popped a little photo on chat there of some flooding just north of me, Smiley area. It is like roads underwater.
Now, when the storm came through Gravelburg, like what was your position in relation to the storm? Were you behind it, beside it, under it?
I was right kind of ahead and under it. So right on the southeast portion of the storm is where my position was the whole time.
You take any dents from hail?
Not on this one. I stayed far enough away from, just because the projections for hail on this storm, and that was a big thing about not going north, because up north the road options are awful. You're battling trees, you're battling rivers, so it's visibility. And when you've got hail parameters the way that these cells had, up to softball size hail, that's not something you want to really play too close to, because that will take out a windshield very easy.
So and Hank's showing up too. He went north, and I feel you, because I chased storms in the Caribou here, and you might as well be in Arkansas or somewhere, right? Like, you're in a valley, you're storms on you, it's gone, you got one road to go here, it turns to garbage. That's what happened to me yesterday.
I was down in that area a few days earlier with storms that rolled through, and Google Maps took me down this what looked like an amazing gravel road, nice and wide, lots of gravel, and then poof, it turned into a clay dirt road like that.
Oh, and they suck you up.
Oh, so
yeah.
Google Maps totally messes with you.
Yeah, you gotta stick on the cement, is a great rule, but then I don't do it. But in Alberta and Sask and the Peace as well, like when you get a little bit of rain on that, you're in trouble. So Hank Vlies just showed up, and I do want to ask him about the same, because we're on the topic. And
I just showed up too.
Michael McGregor has shown up, and we'll get to him too in Winnipeg. So, Hank, where are you? Are you there? We lost Hank.
Instead, we get to see his awesome background.
Oh yeah, that's true. Where'd it go?
Four-leaf clovers. But you know what? I bet you if you dropped the shark off the Empire State Building, it would tear right through it. Especially, as Frankie put it, a shark the size of a submarine. No amount of luck in those clovers can hold up against that.
No,
I found it. Trey Cable's doing stand-up comedy. That means, and to 4th of July, Trey Cable could go on your show if necessary.
I would love that. Hank, are you there? We're eager to talk to you right now because we're on the topic of the Saskatchewan storms.
You lost your microphone in a storm. See, this is why responsible storm chasing is a really underappreciated thing. It's the thing that we don't talk about is the safety aspect. Hank lost his microphone in a storm. Thanks.
Okay, we'll come back to Hank on the topic of Saskatchewan storms.
And how you lose your voice to a storm.
Just blows away.
A tornado came at him like the sea witch and took his music.
Winds are supposed to get 90 kilometers an hour here later tonight. So looking forward to going out and playing in some of that. Blasting rain and 90-kilometer-hour winds.
That's what Brandon was
so
saying.
Jealous. That is awesome.
Well,
being in a hurricane.
when we when we get Hank here, we'll come back to the Saskatchewan storm topic, and we'll jump over to Mike for a second in Manitoba, because you got in southern Manitoba, not so much for Winnipeg, maybe, but probably south of the funnel cloud chance tomorrow. So spin up a story about it.
Funnel cloud chance tomorrow. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Aha! Welcome to the show.
Anyways, so it's been kind of unusually cool, dry, and almost like we switched over to spring. Like I see our overnight low temperatures later this week dropping down to 5 tomorrow night. It's a bit weird. We've done a flip from being super warm, stormy last May. In June, it's been unusually quiet here. And tonight, I don't know if you guys have heard, but we're supposed to get 50 to 60 millimeters of rain. There's a possibility areas along the international border might have some flash flooding. So farmers here have already had enough rain. I don't know how bad the crops are going to be later on this summer because of the rain we're getting. But we're swamped, we're waterlogged here. I feel like Shrek could be living here in his swamp with the amount of rain we're getting. And
I'm
more
just noticing
mosquitoes.
for the first time. It really is dumping down there, and isn't it right now in the Sask and Manitoba border and below you?
Yeah, and I'm not surprised if this continues through the spring, the end into summer, and later into summer. This year is so reminiscent of 2005 when there was flooding in farmers' fields. I don't know if it's going to get bad enough where we get the river levels to rise like 2005 did. We had to activate the floodway that summer. So I hope that it doesn't get that bad. But with the amount of rain we're supposed to get tonight, 60 millimeters on top of that, and more rain later in the week with thunderstorms possible Monday on Canada Day. And then on the 2nd and 3rd, there's more unstable weather coming in. Temperatures have been likely going to be in the 10 to 15 degrees Celsius range, a low of 9 tomorrow night, and then it's supposed to start warming up again later towards the end of next week with more severe weather chances. So it's flip-flop Manitoba. Justin has been saying to me that they've been in a bit of a lull period for storms. I think Saskatchewan, Jenny, and Brandon's been stealing them from us. Although it's good because our Woodlands radar has been down for about 2.5, 3 weeks now. Should be back up.
Still, eh?
It should be back up on June 29th, hopefully.
Well, it's like they say, hey, when it rains, it pours.
Hey, buddy. There you are. We were trying to get a hold of you there, Hank. Good to see you. We're back to Saskatchewan.
I literally feel like Shrek could be living here in my backyard with how wet it's been in Winnipeg.
Well, fortunately, you look enough like him that no one will notice.
Maybe I should dress up as him for my next show.
Just paint it. Green it up.
Would you guys be okay if I dress up as Shrek next week?
I'd be okay with that. What about you, Hank? Would you be okay with dressing up as Shrek next week?
Well, the first thing I need to know is, next to my audio settings, I have like 10 different options. Why do I have 10 options, Joey? Anyway, I found the right one. It's the third one I tried. Fourth one.
Because you don't need 11, that's why.
I saw a storm. I saw storms on Friday. I saw storms on Sunday. And today we had rainstorms. Does that count?
Well, it counts for rain, yeah. But yeah, so tell us about your big tornado chasing on Sunday.
Okay, so Sunday, I knew the storms would be moving fast, right? So I didn't have a whole lot of hope that I'd be able to get any long viewing out of it. I thought it was going to be 15, 20 minutes and done. You know, that's what I thought. But what happened was the supercells were one after the other coming through the same area. And I saw 3 different supercells come past North Battleford. So I was able to sit out there a good long time and watch one storm after the other roll past me. And the third one turned into a supercell and got tornado warned way to my southwest and was coming straight at me. And I had to do some maneuvering to get out of its way. And I was in an area where going east is not really a good option. So I had to go south first, straight towards the storm, almost straight towards it, and then go east after that. But I made my move to go south first in time, and everything was fine. It was quite a beautiful sight.
Hank, what area of Saskatchewan or Manitoba do you live in?
I live in the western part of Saskatchewan. I'm mostly west of Saskatoon, but a little bit north also of Saskatoon. So I'm near North Battleford.
Must be nice up there, eh?
Well, you know, it's farmland.
Rolling ice.
I know about some nice areas for exploring, but they're not really public lands or anything. But I've discovered some areas anyway. I like to do more than just photograph storms. I also like to go hiking and cross-country skiing in the wintertime and any kind of self-powered adventure, you know.
Yeah.
Also, I got a lot of response on that rainbow photo I posted, but to me, it was a rainbow that happened to be at sunrise. And it's just that when you take a rainbow at sunrise, it looks a little different than a normal rainbow photo. And
yeah,
to me,
so you got this rainbow photo for the radio viewers and people who don't know. Hank got this photo right at sun. It's like dark out, but there's a rainbow. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of response. I was, you know, here's a rainbow, and it's at sunrise, so it's nice. But I wasn't expecting people to go, "Oh my God!" You know? And a lot of people are saying, "I've never seen anything like that before."
I haven't.
I have, but I don't know. I don't know where my photos are right now. I should look something up. But I mean, I didn't change the image really. I might have just played with sliders a little bit, but not much, you know.
I've seen a moon. I've seen a rainbow around a moon at night. That's pretty cool. It's called a moonbow.
Yeah,
pretty successful week where you had viral rainbow sunrise video, and you nearly got yourself into some tornadic weather there in a place where you don't have a lot of road options, which Jenny was talking about, which I was talking about too yesterday. I got flanked by this storm. I got really surprised yesterday by what happened here in the Caribou, because Sel was sitting in growing up near Canham Lake out by Forest Grove, so I go out there and I watch it go east. And I'm like, well, it's gone to the mountains. That's what happens here. It's gone. And then so I piddle around for a little bit, and when I get back to 97, I'm looking at things, and I don't have data on my phone, so I have no idea what's going on out there, and there's no cell service in half these places anyways I end up in. And I'm like, where did that come from? Looking at, and there's some meso rotation going, nothing crazy, but the storm itself was crazy. Mm-hmm. And it was going northeast, and then suddenly when I got back on 97, it was going northwest.
Yeah. It's funny
it went a couple hundred kilometers on that northwest trajectory.
It's funny how we try so hard to be able to predict exactly what the weather is going to do, especially if you're into storm photography, and you try so hard to know exactly what's going to happen, but yet some of the most magical things are when it does the unexpected. Those are the most memorable ones.
I guess. I mean, I got lucky and got in behind the back of the storm and saw some really wild stuff by accident. But I mean, I was thinking at the time, I was like, I'm a bad weatherman. Like, meanwhile, everything I said exactly happened, and yet I went out there, and everybody in the Caribou and BC, all my followers and weather watchers, like, yeah, great job, Joey, just like you said. They're like, phones blowing up back, and I'm like, man, like, well, I can't. How did I fail? Like, you guys, yeah. Anyways.
Nothing's better than nailing that forecast, though. Like, we take a lot of hits when we're storm chasers. We take a lot of losses, but when we get that, like, perfect win, it's just something about that that just amazing. Like the same as the Gravelsburg one. Like I messaged a friend that morning. I was like, "Yep, Gravelberg is gonna get squashed, and then it's gonna go through to Assiniboia and Estevan, and it's exactly the track it took. And it's so when you can forecast and nail it, it feels good.
Oh, by far the worst.
You know what's cool too? Can remember your name, Jenny. Last year, we had a tornado potential near the Winnipeg area on July. And I was thinking, you know what, Environment Canada might be a little bit off because there's a lot of clearing going on. And they said there's a lot of capping. But the thing is, with capping, you need to have sufficient amount of heating for that cap to break. So I thought, okay, well, that area north of Winnipeg looks like it's clearing out a bit. And like I forecasted that exact same day. And Justin was thinking Western Manitoba and the Interlakes. I was thinking the Red River Valley near Winnipeg. And guess what? Supercell popped up just right to the west of me. Environment Canada issued a tornado watch in that same area I was thinking of. So I feel someday like I'm smarter than the meteorologist. I think maybe we all are at some point.
Ah, look at that smile on Michael's face.
And that tells it all on when you get to nail the forecast on like just that feeling that you can get. And you need those wins because if you can't celebrate those, storm chasing's not for you because it'll kick your butt.
Yeah.
Unless they decide to drive right in the middle of a bear cage, which is bad. Core punching.
Looks like it's got some growth going on still. And these are certainly spooky shapes up above us. For sure. And now the show comes to me and I gotta go play a show. Oh, yeah, I heard you. I saw you. Oh yeah. Bam, bumble and thunder, close lightning strikes. My goodness. She's right in on us. That one hit the top of Cow Mountain. That was cool. It's happening somewhere out there. Whoa. There we go. Zing. Boom.
There goes the dynamite.
There comes the dynamite. Boom. Oh, please God, don't kill me now. War, you know, they wouldn't be good. Yes, if they didn't love battle.
Yes.
Boom! Too busy looking to see if I got the last one that I missed the next one. Oh, the real anger went through the Vanderhoof area about half an hour ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Severe storms out that way all day. Went from possible tornado producers to now a big bow with a straight line wind that's probably knocking down some trees.
That one that came over there.
Stop flashing there and start flashing here. Well,
oh, did you see that?
I did not.
It was straight over this tree here.
The camera probably caught it.
I didn't keep it facing the right way.
Yeah. That's cool. Oh no, I hit off. I turned my video off right as it happened. I was about to be like, well, should start a new clip so it's not 5 minutes long. And then, it's only one of them so far, so it's not a severe rainbow. This is like what winning $1 million is to average people. Look at the overshooting top. Wow, she's a beauty. This storm really just developed out of nowhere like it. It's a severe rainbow. There's 2 of them. All right, we officially have a severe rainbow outbreak. Yeah. Wowzers. Come on. Boom. There we go. Unbelievable. Mammatus, rainbows, big overshooting top, sunny and warm in behind. The storm really just pulled itself together out of nowhere. Severe rainbow outbreak. Look, oh, the one's coming down over here even. Never seen anything so terrible. The rainbow outbreak. My God. Look at the rainbow. It's like gonna wreck the cop shop. It's always when I turn the camera off, the best lightning strike happens. That's been my thing all year. Seeing as we've had all this nasty weather talk, just to remind ourselves that the weather is good somewhere still. Imogen, you haven't said much in a while. How was the weather in Victoria this week?
It is so much more of the same boring, clear blue skies and occasional scattered clouds, and it's still damp and very moist, sunny and moist. Little bits of rain here and there, and then clear skies. It's like so mediocre.
It's so sunny and moist all the time.
It's mediocre.
It's true though on the coast. Like it can be sunny and moist, you know.
Yeah, we'll have about 4 seconds of rain, and then it's like clear sky. And out of nowhere, there's like one angry cloud will just come and dampen everything. It's not even soaking wet. It's just damp. It's a light drizzle.
You know, if there's anywhere that can be sunny and moist, it is definitely Vancouver Island, because that ground might still be moist the whole day that it's sunny.
If it's sunny at all. Is everybody ready for a Frankie video?
Yes.
Frankie's ready.
Frankie is really ready.
Frankie's always the first one to say yes. I love it. Frankie is his biggest cheerleader.
He's like, finally, you guys are going to shut up and we're going to watch my video.
This is Frankie McDowell, my own team station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Heavy rain's headed towards Perth, Australia on Wednesday, June 26th during evening hours in 2024. It's going to bring a lot of rain to Perth, Australia and surrounding areas. It's going to bring a lot of rain. I want everyone to Perth, Australia to be extra prepared. Make sure you wear your rain gear, rubber boots, and raincoats to keep you dry. Don't walk through the puddles. Avoid the puddles when you go for a walk. When you drive a car, don't drive a car through the puddles either. I want everyone to be prepared because it's going to bring a lot of rain in Perth, Australia and surrounding areas. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain starting on Wednesday, June 26th during evening hours in Perth, Australia and surrounding areas, because it's going to bring a lot of rain in Perth, Australia, and cooler temperatures to Perth, Australia as well. I want everyone to Perth, Australia to be prepared. Don't walk through the puddles. Avoid the puddles and go for a walk for people living in Perth, Australia. If you have anybody living in Perth, Australia, be prepared for heavy rain starting on Wednesday, June 26, 2024 into Thursday, June 27, 2024. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in heavy rain.
People in Perth, Australia, don't be caught in a heavy rainstorm.
Here's my forecast for interior British Columbia on Friday, July 5th, 2024. It's going to get really, really, really hot in Kamloops and Kelowna and Prince George and Wells, British Columbia, and Revelstoke and Golden and Salmon Arm and all these places, in 100 Mile House and Williams Lake and Quesnel and all those places at Dawson Creek and Fort St. John and Vanderroof, British Columbia. It's going to get really, really hot. And interior British Columbia on July 5th, 2024. Be prepared, drink a lot of water from Frank Down. Wear lots of sunscreen from Frank Down.
Any last words this week? Any last words this week, everybody? We got currently right now down in the Dakotas. It's been quite an event down there. There's a storm line moving through. It looks like through Eagle Butte, up Timber Lake, Little Eagle, off McLaughlin, Suffridge, Cannonball, Bismarck, Wilton, McCluskey. Some of those cells up to Max Drake. Some of those cells go right to the Canadian border almost, and are going to be pushing into the Canadian side. So we got a nonstop flurry of precipitation going on there this week. So that looks pretty exciting for them. Congratulations, Manitoba. You're going to get more by it. But yes, so the chance of funnel clouds tomorrow as well. And Prince George on Friday, maybe going to see some severe, but I expect Sunday will be a real good severe day for British Columbia. So we're looking forward to that, of course, too. So, what do you guys think? What's coming on this weekend? What's your predictions for this weekend's severe outbreak?
Well, before I get to that, I forgot to mention this earlier, but in Alaska today, way up in northern Alaska, pretty close to pretty much as far north as you can go. In Alaska, they had a severe thunderstorm warning issued earlier this morning in far northwest Alaska, and it was the westernmost and northernmost area that the National Weather Service in the United States has ever issued a severe thunderstorm warning. So I thought that was really cool.
And there was lightning flashing way out in the Arctic Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
And we've had up there's been there's been thunderstorms up in the Northwest Territories, Yukon, over to the Alaska side for days. It's been going on. I mean, it's been absolutely pounding up. They're not just days, weeks. Weeks it's been going on, right? And like I remember a few years ago, kind of watching lightning pick up there more and more frequently, and being like, "Wow, it's really becoming a thing up there now." But yeah, so anyways, like BC's getting this crappy weather, but that's not happening in the Peace right now. The Peace has been quite dry and quite warm, actually. It's been missing all this. There's been fire activity all over the north right now today. So some of those fires by Kochko Lake, seeing lots of growth on fire G90399, for example. These are ones out in the wilderness, right? They're not the ones in Fort Nelson, the ones that are to the far east of it. But those are good examples. We did have structures burning in Fort Good Hope yesterday, and I see that there is still quite a line of fresh activity, which would be on the north side of town. So I don't know what's been lost, but the containment lines were breached, and right along the river and heading sort of east-west north of town, quite a bit of fire activity today, it looks like, up there on Firms. So just some of the stories to look forward to, that there's so much lightning in the far north, and now the Yukon. If compared to this time last week, the Yukon is starting to look pretty wild. Who knows? Maybe I'll get deployed to the Yukon. I can be sent up there. So, up in Alaska, lots of wildfires burning all over the place, right? They're having a pretty big outbreak up there. So we're seeing bad weather from so many places, but we're not seeing that bad weather over in Newfoundland and Quebec side of Gaspé, where there's fires burning there. So that's just a little bit of a take on what's going on. What do you guys think is going to happen this weekend? Yeah, we got next round of severe coming in. I'm gonna have
a quick look at the weather models and see what I see.
Right now, we are just getting soaking wet. This afternoon, some areas in my area have gotten 5.5 inches of rain since like 2 o'clock this afternoon. So in 6 hours, 5.5 inches. So looking forward to all the flooding stuff that I'm going to capture tomorrow morning.
We might need a boat.
I'm gonna have to take my canoe. I got some water wings.
Awesome.
Little flamingo ones. I'm gonna take those
That's
up.
awesome.
It really looks like
that'll attract some sharks.
Really looks like next round kicks off on Sunday. And that again will be like from Alaska through the Yukon, flashing through both sides, Alberta, BC, Northwest Territories, all the way down into the Caribou. On the Alberta side, that's going to kick off on Sunday. So that'll be like the next big story to kind of watch. And then there is like maybe some isolated supercells that could work themselves into Saskatchewan next week, Sunday. So it's funny how sometimes it's like the same day for weeks at a time. It's like Sunday is storm day.
And I also looked at the models. The GFS is hinting at southern Manitoba getting in some action Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. It looks like some low pressure systems will bring up some Gulf moisture. It's kind of out in the woods right now, but it could be that southern Manitoba starts getting some supercells after Canada Day, maybe even on Canada Day in southwest Manitoba.
Yep.
So maybe some natural lightning.
Yep, I agree.
Whatever is going to go on there is going to be significant, supercellular or not. I mean, the way the thunderstorms are going to roll through next week. And then even, mid next week, again, a secondary round. I mean, you're into the thunder. You're going to start seeing some real action for sure. Tornadoes or not, I don't know, looking this far out, right? But it looks really good. It looks really good for action. All across.
For my area in western Saskatchewan. Frankie?
Sorry.
Michael's talking, okay. Anyway, in western Saskatchewan, small storms. So Michael's area might get bigger storms, but small storms Canada Day. And then I think the bigger storms might be the Friday after that, possibly, but that's so far away. It's really hard to say.
It just really looks like repeat rounds are really kicking in, and it's going to be big action. Whatever nature of these storms are, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see on how much those adjust once that heat hits again. So we got all this fresh moisture, especially in and around Saskatchewan, western, central, and southern. So once that heat packs in, how much that's going to fuel and change those parameters quite a bit. So I think we're looking into kind of that first week or so into July. We're going to see a big ramp up in the prairies here.
I think
I
so.
also can attest to that every single year that we've got wet weather, 2005, 07, 2010, big severe storms ramped up in July. I don't know if you guys heard, but there was a big tornado that touched down near Pilot Mound in August or July of 2005. There was a big one in Eli. And then kind of quieted down in 07 and 2010. There were tornadoes near the city.
But all
That
wet years, you're saying,
touchdown.
right? All years that are very representative of what's been going on. And I
Yeah.
think that's correct from my observation, absolutely. When I've seen, like, when it gets like this, if the prairies can get the heat in there, like Jenny says, fantastic things can happen.
And Joey, one day you'll be heading for Sydney, Nova Scotia one of these days.
I want to do that so bad. I want to see Frankie
Just
McDonald
that
so bad.
flights are nuts. Like the cost of flights, $700, $800 just for a seat. Some of them.
Well, I'm going to resurrect my music career, and then it will pay my way across Canada like it always did. And I'll come see us all. I could do the Comedeorological report on the road. It's like, sorry, no gigs Thursday nights, Frankie says.
That means image.
Well, for twice the price, yeah, I'll play.
There we go. We need some funding to take this show on the road. And we can get some we can get Imogen some real weather.
Yeah.
That would be
That
nice.
means that you'll be in a base guy neighborhood in Montreal, St. Anne, Montreal, West Island.
I will absolutely want to be playing in Montreal again someday. Yeah, I absolutely
In
will.
Montreal, where base guy is.
I feel like I want to come back. I want to come back and play. I'm feeling it. The showman's back. Because you know what I did is I looked around at the state of country music and I realized how many fakers and posers and wankers there is, and I was like, I got to come back and show them all how it's done.
What is it? Hey, Joey, just imagine if you had a Comedeological weather report base guy show crossover.
That'd be pretty cool.
If you want to follow me on social media, my blue sky's at Frankie MacD, my Twitter's at Frankie MacD, my Linktree is Frankie MacDonald, my Facebook is Frankie MacDonald, my Instagram is Frankie MacD1984, my TikTok is FrankDonald1984, my Clapper is FrankDonald1984, my Twitch is FrankDonald1984, my Snapchat is Frankie MacDon, my YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves, and my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald. You're listening to Comedeological weather report every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. Before you know it, Base Guy Show Comedeological weather report crossover.
Yeah.
Before you know it.
Count me in.
That's Frankie.
That's the show.
That's the show. That's true. I do have
follow me.
I do have about 2 minutes of extra to go over to make up for time lost tonight. So we do have 2 minutes.
How did you lose time? What kind of X-Files weirdness is that? Were you abducted by aliens?
I think I started a minute late or two, and then there's a couple edits. So maybe I actually have 2 more minutes.
Can follow me on.
Do we have to? Do we have to follow you? See, that's one of the things that we're not allowed to say on TV. So stop giving orders.
You notice how I don't do that for myself.
That means they have to do a lot of editing before they even go on TV.
Okay. Anyways, we're still on the show, so I can't talk about what we can't talk about on the show because then we're talking about it on the show.
Editing. Tell me about your alien abduction. Joey, tell me about the alien abduction. You lost 2 minutes in a strange
E.T.
What we can't talk about, right? That's what we can't talk about is what we can't talk about.
Over in some countries, you're not allowed to talk about anything.
That's true. In Canada, too.
What about Russia?
They're not allowed to talk about,
you're allowed to talk about Russia and Canada.
So Joey,
just talk about tornado tacos. Tornado tacos.
So Joey, I'm fascinated by this 2 minutes that you've lost. Tell me about your alien abduction.
No. It's because if we don't start exactly at 7, but we end at 8, then I got 57 minutes when I get to the drawing board and not, which I prefer to have. I would prefer to have 63 so I could cut out the ums and ahs and irrelevances and redundancies and make just a tighter, hotter show.
It looks to me like the aliens kept part of Joey's facial hair still on the spaceship.
That's the show.
It got lost in the teleporter.
That's the show, everybody. Frankie, that's the show. Okay.
Joey has officially been abducted by aliens,
He's got
including his facial hair.
Thumbs up. That's right. Frankie says that's.
That is a steady wind. Probably pushing 60 or more. I would have to think. And it's cold. I don't like it. Ah!